Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler, powered by Coolbet Canada.
$11:06 on The Lock Shop. Thank you very much for being here. Dustin, Nielson with you. Hustler's going to be popping by in a little bit. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube, you can... Huss is in there. Says, send me the link, Zach. Did you not send him the link? I see Huss in the nasty chat being like, Zach, send me the link. All right, so keep those nasty chats already rolling. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up. EST parlay is locked and loaded. That is already up. We will get into that as we work our way through the show today. Two guys and a goalie coming up a little bit later on as well. We'll take a look at that Charles Schwab leaderboard as we work our way through the show today. Somebody over in the nasty chat say Max Homas 6 over. That's not good. I see Brian Harman's 4 under. That was one of Hustler's picks yesterday, so that's good. Tony Finau, we're all on Tony 3 under. Morikawa 3 under. So Tony and Morikawa, 2 of my picks, they're sitting at T4 right now. Huss was in there as well. Man, there's Seb Straka again, too. I was thinking about getting on Seb Straka. Ooh, and Thomas Detry, who was one of my plays. He went off for a 69 today, so... not bad. We definitely have some bullets in the gun. But what the hell is happening with Max Homa? That is ridiculous. I haven't kept tabs on. I've been busy doing some other business stuff. And then I was talking with Fraze. That's why we were a couple minutes late. I love all the hangout guests we get in, but I never get to see them. Like they walk in, I finish the show. I'm like, hey, thanks for coming in. Great to see you. Then they do the hangout. I do a bunch of other work, and then. By when they're coming out of the hangout, I'm sliding back in here, so I never get to see him. So I talked to Fraze for a couple of minutes, which was a lot of fun. 780-218-9999 or over in the nasty chat. This text is in and says, where will Tommy be for game 2? Tommy will be in studio here for game 2. Game 3, he'll be at Hudson's on White. Huss, if you are watching. Zacticum is gonna send you he's there on the back end. All right, perfect. We'll have Huss join us here right away as well. Duck Dad is in and says, if anyone wants a live lean on Serbian soccer, of course we do. TSC to go over 1.5 goals in the first half is even money and climbing, just caving and Napredak right now. All right, should we live bet Serbian soccer? Maybe we do. Do we have Huss? Is Huss? All right, let's connect with Huss here right now from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Huss, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Not much. I thought I may have been the last to find out I was relieved of my lock shop duties without a link today. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Hey, don't you worry about that, Huss. That's not happening. That's not happening.
I know. Well, it's just. Hey, in this business, crazy things happen. I'm just kidding. I was listening to you roll out those scores though from the Charles Schwab challenge. Brian Harman.
I know.
I had to love that. He's 4 under.
He might come in as the clubhouse leader because the other 2 guys who are at 4 under are already in. He's just through 16, so he's got a chance to add another birdie to the card here still.
Who, you know what we need to check out? We haven't done this before. We haven't done this recently, but we need to check out. So who do we need? We need Hubbard over Gim.
Yeah.
Detry over Thompson.
Detry right now is beating Thompson because Detry's at 1 under. Actually, yeah, he's beating Thompson. Davis Thompson?
D. Thompson.
He beat him. That's done. He won that one. Who else do we have? Okay. I had Hubbard. And
you had Hubbard and Kim.
Doug. Oh, they tied. They both were 1 over. Oh no, wait a second. They just started. They're through 1 and they're even. So that one's just getting going.
We cover that this afternoon, and then what? You had Spieth over Kirk.
That was P. Greggy. And I don't think Spieth is teed off yet.
Kirk tees off at 12:34. And what about Jordan?
Well, we got one in the bag. We got one in the bag so far, 2 to go. So
that's right. I can breathe. I can breathe easily now. I had the morning tea time. I could have screwed it up first for everyone, but now I'm actually in. We get make that happen.
You've taken care of your part of business, so
it's always nice. It's always nice to do that on a 3-legger, the partner parlay. You just don't want to be the guy that screws it up. But I am loving the fact that Brian Harmon started off the way that he did, and
really nice.
There we go. And we had Aaron Cockrell on Winnipeg Sports Talk yesterday, and Aaron, for those that don't know, is from here in Winnipeg. He's the lone Canadian on the DP World Tour. And he joined me from Belgium before this tournament today. And he hadn't played in a few weeks, but he's playing this weekend. And then he's coming back to Canada to tee it up in the Canadian Open on the PGA Tour next week. And I said, well, Aaron, we've had a good run lately of a bit of a WST bump. So I'm expecting a great round today. T3, 5 under at the event. I wish I had put a little sprinkle down on it because you can get on the DP World Tour at Coolbet. I didn't jump on that, but we'll be pulling him this weekend. And then, of course, next week, that Canadian Open really caught up. Like usually it's a little bit more into June, but just with the way the calendar sets up, Dusty, it's on next week. A big week for Canadian golf. And then, of course, President's Cup in Montreal coming up in September. See, unfortunately, that's going to be right in the middle of CFL season. You're probably not going to be able to make that trip.
And I don't have any Montreal games. Wouldn't that coincide nicely?
We
that
make a trade.
Yeah. You know what? I might be able to wheel and deal. See if I can get approval on that. Yeah, because that would be a really good time. Are you going?
So cool. I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm going to go for sure. The tournament director of the event.
Oh, actually, yes. Winnipeg
is a good buddy of mine from Winnipeg. The Peg. We've got tentacles everywhere, people. But Ryan Hart ran an event here. Ended up going down working for the PGA Tour. Did the Valero Texas Open. Did such a good job. Was the executive director of the Players Championship, which is the biggest event on tour. He had the unfortunate experience of being in charge of everything at the Players when COVID hit. And if you recall, they played the first round and then had to cancel the tournament. That was a colossal mess. I doubt he'll ever be involved in a cluster bleep like that. I mean, how do you plan for a global pandemic? I don't know. But anyways, now he's in charge of the President's Cup. The one thing, just while we're talking golf for 2 seconds, the one thing I would love to see with the President's Cup, and again, like I get it, PGA Tour Live, it's been a big war, but not having any of the Live guys in that event, especially on the world team, like the U.S. will be fine. They still have enough guns, and they're always heavy favorites in the President's competition anyways. But, man, not having the South Africans, the Aussies, like I'm all for seeing our Canadian golfers do it, and it's great that they've been so successful this year. But, I mean, the way it looks, there might be 5 or 6 Canadians of the 12 on the team. Like, it'll be like almost a North American championship for the President's Cup. So I am hoping that maybe they come around and invite a few of the players that aren't playing on the tour just to make the event as good as it can be for the fans that are going to be there in Montreal at the end of September.
Nielson and Haas with you here on The Lock Shop. How about this? Duck Dad says, guess who has 2 thumbs and just cashed a Serbian soccer live bet? So that was Duck Dad. So congratulations, Duck Dad. And Mark over in the nasty chat says, guys, I got Morikawa, Kim, and Harmon on the same team. Looking pretty good at the moment. That'd be a DFS squad. That's probably lighting on fire right now. So that's real nice.
Oh, and speaking of Mark of Vanasuk, I took Aaron top 5. Let's go. Yes. Mark knows what the WST bump's all about. Love it.
All right, Huss, last night. Let's start with last night. Then we'll get to obviously Oilers Stars. EST Parlay is already up as well. If you want to hop on that, we'll break that down for you. But let's start with the net. Well, let's quickly start with the Mavericks. Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic. I mean, I think they combined to shoot 49 shots last night. They go off for over 30 points each of them, and they don't. I mean, look at the Mavs. Overall, like it's not very much a deep roster. It's kind of a two-man show. But when your two-man show is Luka and Kyrie, might just be enough, Huss.
Well, it was enough last night. I am still dubious that it'll be enough for the entire series. By the way, did you hear that Luka got named a first team All-NBA? And he's now, because he was named a first team All-NBA, he's in line and eligible for the 5-year Supermax.
The Supermax.
Which, based on his contract, is going to be a 5-year deal at $346 million.
Holy smokes.
Biggest in NBA history. Biggest in NBA history.
You know, I do think it's crazy that those clauses are in there for something that's voted on by the media. You know, like that is, I mean, that's kind of, like we're not talking like $100,000 bonus to win an NHL award here. We are talking about the biggest contract, and it's totally justified. I mean, he probably should get the highest contract in the league. I mean, he's at least in that class of player.
Yeah.
And he's a guarantee. He's a first teamer. But I still find it funny that like the ability to get a max contract is tied in any way to writers voting on awards. That blows my mind.
Well, and it would really, I mean, imagine being on like the Pacers, where no matter what you do, ESPN doesn't even want to mention you. Like, the Game 7 headline was Knicks lost, Brunson struggles and lost. Like, they didn't even mention the team that beat them, that moved on to play the Boston Celtics. So, you definitely have a point there. There's no doubt about it. As far as last night, though, goes, listen, Kyrie and Luka were amazing. They're going to have to be every single game to win. Ant wasn't very good. Like, I think the Timberwolves have way, way more to show than what they did in game number 1. Like, if you had a tough time swallowing the minus 179 series line on the Mavericks before the series, I think now's the time to
you mean on the Timberwolves? You said Mavs, but Timberwolves,
T-Wolves. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to swallow the T-Wolves at minus 179, plus 131 sounds a lot better. Even though they've only lost one game.
Yeah.
Their defense, I think, is still absolutely legit, elite, actually. And I don't know, man. This is one of those series that I think is going to come down to some big shots at big times, which is not unusual, but it'll be close. The defense is there for Minnesota, and I don't know. They had the Ant told Charles Barkley to bring your ass to Minneapolis. They did. There was a lot that went around game 1. I just think that the Timberwolves will be a lot better. And hey, they beat the Denver Nuggets 3 times in Denver in the last series. It is not like they cannot win on the road. So, listen, it's a bit of a setback, but I actually look at this as more of an opportunity to get in right now at a way better number than we had the T-Wolves listed at to begin the series.
Hey, one more thing I want to get to on the NBA, and then we'll slide over to the Panthers and Rangers last night. Can you believe that TNT panel is no longer going to be a thing with the way that the rights are going? Like, I don't understand. Like,
how?
It's the best panel I've ever. And I know like NFL's had some great panels, and NHL panels are getting better in my opinion. And I've never really watched many Major League Baseball panels, but the TNT NBA panel with Shaq and Charles and the rest of the crew, it's the best I've ever seen. Like, it's the best in the business. Like, I mean, somebody should just make that a show if they're not going to be. You know what? Like that group of 4 guys cannot stop existing when the season's over us.
Unfortunately, it's going to happen because
what a waste.
The NBA, is going back to NBC, and you'll get your John Tesh theme song back for that everyone's so excited about, but at the expense of Inside the NBA on TNT. Charles is going to be hilarious wherever he ends up. Shaq, Shaq is so good with those guys, but I don't know whether you can get close to as much out of Shaq with different guys around him. I mean, Kenny Smith is sort of the third guy, but he is very, very funny and very good along with what he does in the group. But the glue of the whole thing is Ernie Johnson. And Ernie is staying with TNT. I don't know what the hell he's going to do, to be perfectly honest. Like, is he going to be the hockey guy now? Maybe Ernie. Maybe it's hockey's benefit. Maybe we get the Ern coming in.
That would be something.
Biz and a couple other former players, and Inside the NHL takes over. I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But it's a tragedy. It is an absolute tragedy. I mean, that's not just the best basketball show or a sports show. Honestly, it might be the best studio show in TV.
I think
it is so funny. They almost have no challengers. So I don't know, man. That is a big kick in the nuts for fans of the sport. And I'll tell you what, for the NBA as well. Like, that show helps sell the NBA more than probably almost anything else in the stores in the sports universe. So I'm really upset about that, and I'm not even a guy that, like, I'll often not watch the game
and
but I'll watch that afterwards.
It's
you kind of get totally caught up on everything that happened and go from there.
I watch a lot of basketball throughout the year, and watch a lot of sports throughout the year. But the only thing I'll watch after the game ends are those guys. Like, as soon as the game ends anywhere else, I'm like, okay, click onto something else. That's enough for tonight. But I stick around for them after the game. I mean, it's just brilliant stuff. So disappointed, and it'll be very interesting to see where all those guys are, a year from now. NHL last night, Huss. New York Rangers. Not much there from the Rangers last night. What a performance from the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers were really good. They deserved that one. Although, in that third period, I thought the last 10 minutes, the Rangers had some great, great chances. Bob made a couple great saves in tight. I mean, the Panthers sold out big time with guys diving in front of pucks in front of the net. I can't remember who it was on that scramble, but nailed that one off the post. It's 1-0. They had a power play. They were pushing. And then, the Lafreniere own goal. I can't remember who it was. Was it Keandre Miller that made a bad change at that time that sort of created that play to begin with? It's just one of those mistakes you can't make at that time. And yeah, when you own goal it to go down 2-0 at that point with the team playing the way they were tough. These games are all going to be tight, though. There's nothing that tells me that the Rangers can't get one at home and go and win one in Florida. So I'll tell you what. Good on the Panthers. They certainly are the favorite in this series. They were beforehand, and I think we saw why last night. But I don't know about you. I'm certainly not selling the Rangers or counting them out right now after losing just the first game of the series.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It doesn't. I was thinking it was going to be a very long series in the first place. Still 100% believe that. Rangers are going to get one in Florida at some point along the way, and it's going 6 or 7 for sure. And we'll see what juice the Rangers have to bounce back in game 2 of that series.
Hey, if you do like the Rangers and think that the Rangers can still battle back, the Rangers series price now is plus 250. The Panthers now minus 312. And again, they were an underdog to begin with, and Florida got that first win on the road, which is absolutely significant. I don't think there's any way around that the Panthers are in the driver's seat after the one game. But plus 250 on a team like the Rangers is still a pretty fat number. I thought Shesterkin was good last night. They need to generate a little bit more, and I think that they will as this series goes on. So Just thought I'd throw that out to anyone there that maybe considering trying to get in at a good number. I think the T-Wolves are the best number as far as realistic chance to win at plus money right now.
A different number, yeah. I would agree.
Right?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
But plus 250 is pretty big on a team that won the President's Trophy and is pretty damn good themselves. So don't write off the Rangers just yet.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We'll give you a chance to get into the VIP table draw for that outdoor comedy festival. We'll go there.
When is that draw?
Well, I think on Monday. So we're doing VIP table for the Friday show. Qualifying for that ends tomorrow. Then we'll draw a winner. And then we have a VIP table for the Saturday show. So we'll do that for like 3 weeks. And then we got a VIP table for the Sunday show. So we'll do that for another 3 weeks after that. So still lots of chances. But that Friday show with Gillis and Schultz, I think it's pretty much sold out. I know the VIP tables are sold out. So I'll give you a chance to win in one of those VIP tables coming up here.
What is the date? What's the date on that show?
July. Oh, I had it in front of me. I don't have it in front of me. Do I have it in front of me right now? No, I don't think I have it in front of me right now. Just give me 1 sec. I'll find it.
Shane Gillis at Edmonton. We're talking July, right?
Yeah. It's July 12th weekend, I do believe. Yeah. July 12th. Andrew Schultz and Shane Gillis on the 12th. Kevin Hart on the 13th. And then Bert Kreischer on the Sunday on the 14th. Hell of a lineup, man. It's going to be good. I don't know where I'm going to be that weekend. I don't know if I'm here or if I'm doing. You know what?
I'm just pulling up the Elks schedule right now, and the Elks are at home, but on the Sunday, the July 14th. Actually, would be a fun weekend to come out.
The Elks.
Check out Gillis.
The Elks.
Hart,
okay.
Elks game.
Let me see here. Yeah, I got to be doing that. Let me bring up my CFL schedule. I'll see if I'm gone. What's the rest of? Do you have the rest of that CFL schedule that week?
I just pulled it up. Here, I'll do it. CFL.
Here we go. I got it. You know what? I am.
Let me get here in Winnipeg.
I'm in Winnipeg. I'm in Winnipeg that night. Yeah, I'm looking at my schedule. I'm like, oh, what's this? Friday, July 12th. I'm actually in Winnipeg, and I'm going to be flying home on the Saturday to do the Edmonton game as well. So I'm doing both. I'm doing the 12th and the 14th that weekend.
This would just be, for people that maybe missed it beforehand, I came out for the Jets-Oilers game in October, managed to give Dusty a high five as he walked off the plane, and I got on the plane to go to Edmonton.
That was good.
Saw Iwanek and Gazzola and the boys, but no Dusty for the weekend there, and then pretty much got back on the plane as he was coming back. It was a true. Well,
if you come out to that show, buddy, you can stay at my house. So there you go. I won't be around. You can look after Marshall and the Muzz for the weekend. How's that sound?
That's a lot. That's a lot. Do you think Marsh would like Kevin Hart?
Probably not. I think Marsh is more of a Shane Gillis guy, maybe. Mind you, I saw Shane Gillis doing a bit. I can't even repeat it. Not even here. Like, it just make me feel uncomfortable. But I saw him doing a bit. I don't know if it popped up on YouTube or TikTok. I must have been TikTok last night. And my God, it was hilarious. So I wish I was here for that. It pisses me off now. I realize I'm not. I guess I could make the Kevin Hart show Saturday night, which wouldn't be bad.
Gillis just has a show that I think is actually coming out.
Yeah, it's called Tires. Right?
Like next couple days. Yeah. And it's already been renewed for a second season before it's even been put out. He's hot, man. He's and he just seems like the guy that you'd want to sit around and have a few beers with. I mean, you want to talk about an everyman.
Yeah, well, we'll get that. We'll give you a chance to get the VIP table coming up here. Usually when Huss takes off for WST there around 11:50. We'll give you the keyword and you can text in and try to get in to that bad boy. Huss, obviously here in Edmonton, everybody's very excited. Game 1 tonight. The Oilers viewed as a betting underdog from a prediction standpoint. Fewer people are on the Oilers than are on the Dallas Stars. What do you think? Like, it's weird because I know so many guys are like, we don't care what's in the media. We don't, and I believe them for the most part. But do you think the Oilers look at this like McDavid and Drysdale are like, man, people are actually viewing us as the underdog here? Like, do you think in any way it would motivate them any more than just wanting to win the damn series anyway.
I mean, probably not. Like, listen, these guys, McDavid in particular, well, but both McDavid and Draisaitl, they have a unique level of pressure on themselves, with being two of the best players in the world on the same team, often playing together. I mean, they've done it all. They both won the big trophies. They've set tons of records. They've won lots of regular season games. They've been lauded at the NHL awards. They haven't won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
They haven't been to the Stanley Cup. So, I mean, they know that they have to lead the way and get this team over the hump. I think they also realize they're going up against a truly elite opponent that, unlike the Oilers, was good from the start of the season and consistently was that team all year long. Like, Edmonton obviously had that horrible start, switched coaches, and then turned around to the team that everyone expected it to be. But unlike Dallas, who is as deep as a team you'll see in the NHL right now, I mean, the Oilers really need to lean on those guys. And if anything, Dusty, I think that they go in, they don't care what anyone is saying about their team or who they're expecting to win. What they do know is that they're about to face the biggest challenge, arguably the biggest challenge in their careers when it comes to playoffs for a team that was number one overall, has elite goaltending, the deepest forward group, plays a style led by Pete DeBoer that's won consistently in the playoffs before. I mean, listen, these guys have their work cut out for them. And it's it's an incredible challenge. It's what I think everyone expected and wanted to see. And now we see how things go. I mean, I get why Dallas is the favorite. And to be honest, I think Dallas wins this series. And it's because they're just a better team. Frankly, I thought the Canucks were a better team than the Oilers. I thought the Oilers had the better players. Now, the Oilers, to their credit, and listen, if you want a reason to feel, I think, more confident about what Edmonton can do, once they got down 3-2, if you look at the way they played in Game 6 and Game 7 with their backs against the wall, those performances, frankly, were far better team performances. Like kind of what I said before about Vancouver being the better team. That was what came out, I think, in the first 5 games. But Dallas is good. Presumably they get Rupee Hintz back.
Yeah, he's not going to go for game 1, but they're going to get him at some point, right? So
not going to go for game 1.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, that's a big opportunity then for Edmonton to get in there because they're only getting better when they get a player like that back. But listen, I mean, great players write their legacies by at times putting a team on their back or doing special things at the biggest moments. And that's literally the only criticism you could possibly have for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl right now, is that they've gotten this far, but they haven't been able to get past it. And let's face it, I mean, if they're going to beat Dallas, those guys are going to need to go off. And they're going to need to bring a lot of other guys with them to step up with them because, as I said, Dallas, it doesn't matter what line they're throwing out. They can do damage, and they can make it very, very difficult to play against. So I'm hoping for a good series, though. I mean, there was a time during the Edmonton-Vancouver series where I kind of thought that Vancouver and just their style of play might actually be a better matchup for Vancouver. But I kind of came around on Edmonton, the way they stepped up, the way they played defensively, the way they really limited chances and opportunities in Game 6 and Game 7. Well, they're going to need to do that, and their offensive guys are going to need to get to another level against Dallas. But I can't wait for it. And to be honest, I think the Oilers, I would have assumed in game number 1 with Dallas with the extra rest, with the matchup being, the way that it is with so many people calling Dallas, I kind of thought we might be getting a better number on Edmonton in game number 1.
Yeah, plus 109 in game 1 on the road on less rest. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit of a respect. I mean, it could be money coming in on the Oilers here locally in Edmonton that would bump that number a little bit too. But
Well, I mean, the series is minus 133 and Edmonton plus 110. Like, I didn't think there'd be a shorter number. And I guess it's relatively close. What is plus 109? So it's pretty similar to the series price overall. But listen, if Edmonton can win this series, though, they can absolutely win the cup. Like, if you ask me, I think Dallas is the best team that's left in the playoffs, top to bottom. And maybe just respect the West a little bit more, though the East has been great so far this year, and we've seen what Florida can do. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, and I'm I would love to see McDavid kind of stamp his legacy, over these course of this next month. And they fought, like, let's face it, every Oiler fan listening to this right now, if we had this conversation in mid-November, said, hey, how would this sound? Be slight underdogs in the conference finals against the Dallas Stars, fast forward 6 months. They would have taken that in a heartbeat. So they've climbed out of some big-time holes that they've been in before. And now it's time to take that next step and that next challenge. And I mean, I think those guys are definitely capable of it. I just wonder about the supporting cast. And listen, I mean, when it comes down to it, I worry about the goaltending. I mean, what
do you think Skinner needs to be, Huss? We talked about this on our show this morning. Like, I don't think he has to steal the series. He has to not cost you the series. But like, if Stuart Skinner is viewed as he's playing good, like, is that enough, or does he need to be better than just good, do you think, for the Oilers to win this series?
Well, he'll need to be a hell of a lot better than good if Jake Ottinger isn't bad.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jake Ottinger is going to be bad. I mean, I think he's really gotten into a role. Now, the Oilers, when they're rolling, have made a lot of goalies look very, very average. And I don't rule that out for a second. Overall, though, I mean, I think Stuart Skinner needs to play some of the best hockey of his career. And look, we have seen it in spots. I mean, hell, the guy that made 33 saves against the Kings in that 1-0 win in round number 1, it's not like there hasn't been any of it. It's just been a little too few and far in between. But I certainly think, I mean, compared to the two matchups that they had so far with LA and Vancouver, he's going to be tested in a whole different way than he has been before. So he's going to need to be ready, and he'll be given every opportunity, I think, every chance to show that he's up for it. Because honestly, I mean, they don't have that guy. Oh, who knows? How's this for a storyline? Former star Jack Campbell gets in later on and goes on a tear and wins the series. Is that can we bet on that somewhere? Jack Campbell wins in the series over 3.5.
The ultimate twist. The ultimate twist. Jake, can you please get that up on the board? You know, speaking of the goaltending, I think Dallas scored 22 goals in 6 games against Colorado. Huss, do you see this? Like, we hit the under last night in the Florida Rangers game. It was our Coolbet hotline of the day on the Nielson show. Just get the feeling like that's going to be a tight, sort of low-scoring series. Dallas, Edmonton, maybe not the exact opposite, but certainly going to be more open and flow to the Oilers and Stars, is it not?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, you know, we've got 6 as the total for this game. We have a 6.5. We've got 5.5. So if you've got 4.5. No, listen, I think that there will be, like, I do wonder, like, from an Oiler perspective, if they'll be able to defend. Like, I don't think we're going to see the shots limited like they were doing to Vancouver in these last couple of games. I mean, Dallas is relentless. Their transition game is elite. It's led by Miro Heiskanen, who, for my money, is the leader for the Conn Smythe Trophy right now. So I think there's going to be action the other way. But the one thing that you can say about Edmonton is even when they're not so on, when they've got a bad period or whatever, they've got guys that can turn average chances into grade A and potentially red light on chances, led by the likes of McDavid and Draisaitl. So I think we'll probably see more goals than the Colorado series, even though it's strange. I mean, Colorado was a team that could score with the best of them. They just got so deflated by the lack of Nichushkin. And then, they battled back and won that game, got it to Colorado. And, Dallas just showed that they were a bit better. So I think I will tend to, lean on over on this, but I think I'm going to take a lot out of tonight's game and just the style of play, both teams. I mean, we're going to see how well on the road the Oilers are able to limit and minimize what Dallas likes to do. And I'm fascinated to see, for a team that has been so effective shutting other teams down and not giving them a lot of time and space to move, what they can do with the guy that creates time and space better than anybody in the National Hockey League, frankly, and on the planet in 97. So it's a really neat matchup. And, I'm just hoping that we can catch that plus 12.5 and we get two nice series. Tell you what, the Florida win last night, a little concerning just because of the fact that they've got the three other home games, that maybe that one doesn't go the distance. So let's get the Oilers to get one on the board right now and give us a good chance of getting this one to go deep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the Oilers roll in, obviously, with their top-end guys being offensive juggernauts right now, leading the way in playoff scoring by a significant margin. And I'm going to roll with that a little bit for the EST parlay tonight. And we got a pretty juicy number here considering they're the dog in the regular season. In the regular season game, this number's like plus 300. In this series, it's different. It's plus 775. Draisaitl with 2 points. Hyman with a goal. Bouchard with a point. The Oilers to score over 3.5 goals. And they win game one. Take game one. I saw Rod Z say that Stars are 0-6 in their last 6 game ones. But plus 775 is the number on this one. So if you like the Oilers to come out hot in this series, you can ride with us there at plus 775. Draisaitl over 1.5 points. Hyman to score. Bush to have a point. And the Oilers to score 4 or more and win the game. Plus 775. Juicy number. A lot will need to happen, but I'll be riding on it just in case,
Well, I jumped on your series over as well. And again, for that, we absolutely need a long series, with the numbers that we've had on some of these guys. But I think the one thing that we didn't really mention that's going to be the key to this whole thing, and you kind of brought this up the last couple of days, the Oiler power play. The Oilers have to make the hay when they've got the extra man. They've been unbelievable with that. And, you kind of pointed out, I mean, Colorado did victimize Dallas's PK during the last series. So that's a chance to it. And think about what happened with teams that won game sevens with relatively quick turnarounds playing against teams that were off for a little bit. The teams with game 7, Boston went right out and took it to Florida in Florida. So this might be actually a great spot for Edmonton just to carry that momentum from game 7 into game 1 and get off to a good start. What was the season series this year between these teams?
2-1. The Stars won 4-3 here. The Oilers won 4-3 in overtime there. And then in the final meeting, and I remember after this game, the Stars won the final meeting 5-0 and they looked great in that final game. And I remember that day coming on the air the next morning and everybody was freaking out. And I was just like, let's all calm down. It's just one game. We won't have to talk about this again unless the two teams meet in the Western Conference Final. And now here we are talking about these two teams meeting in the Western Conference Final. But it wasn't like the shots in that game were like 35-32, but Dallas ended up winning 5-0. It was Pickard in between the pipes. Pickard actually beat them 4-3. So I think that's why they went back to him in that next game, but it didn't work out. So yeah, I just want to drop the puck. I want something to analyze from this series, right?
Well, you guys will have plenty to talk about tomorrow morning. Hey, before we finish up, though, I mean, unless you've got anything else you want to hit on.
Well, just quickly from an NHL perspective, we were talking about it this morning, and my memory might not be serving me properly here, but the 4 teams left in this thing are the best teams in each of their divisions, the 1 seeds, and then the Oilers, who were the best team in the league after Knobloch took over for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Do we have the 4 best teams in the National Hockey League still remaining? Like, there's no Cinderella, there's no 3 or 4 seed. Like, I didn't look back at it, but I can't remember the last time we're sitting here playoffs going, these are 4 legitimate contenders, all 4 teams in their window right now, and the regular season numbers back up that they're the best 4 teams in the league.
Yeah, not a single team that got hot at the end and pulled off a big upset and the teams are out. No, you're right. I mean, Vancouver, all you needed to know is Vancouver won the division, but we're big underdogs in that series.
Yeah, exactly.
Big underdogs. Everyone thought that Edmonton was the best team in the Pacific Division. Listen, the Jets had a great season. The Avalanche had a great season. Dallas was the best team in the Central all year long. Florida ended up winning the Atlantic. I mean, that was very, very tight with Boston, but I think we saw throughout the playoffs that Florida's the best team in that division. And despite nobody seemingly want to give it to the Rangers, despite winning the division, winning the President's Trophy, they proved against the Hurricanes that they were the best in the Met. So it is a truly great Final Four. You got a Canadian team in it. You've got big markets in New York and Dallas. And, you got a Panther team that, was there last year. Has a lot of great personalities, both on the ice and on the bench. From an NHL perspective, it is close to a dream Final Four right now. And the NHL wants the Rangers to win, just, because of the attention that would come to having that team in the Big Apple in the championship. And to be honest, I kind of think the NHL would love to have Edmonton in it. And, market-wise, obviously Dallas would be preferable just with the amount of people and all that. But McDavid is a needle mover. And to be able to have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the biggest stage in the Stanley Cup Championship, not to mention the scene that would be taking place in Edmonton for those Stanley Cup games, would be next level. So I think that's what Gary Bettman would actually like. I know some people will say, no, he hates Canadian teams. Trust me, he loves their marquee player being in the bright lights. But I don't know. Listen, it's going to be awesome. And let's drop the puck and get going.
What else did you have, Huss? Where else did you want to go there before I brought that up?
Well, I quickly wanted to go to Major League Baseball for a minute.
Yes.
By the way, and just from a lock shop tip, we haven't really, just with the playoffs, haven't been getting into too much baseball. But first of all, the Royals are actually really good and seemingly are undervalued almost every night. They are 6 wins in a row. They're going against teams like they're putting better pitchers onto the mound. They're playing much better, and often they're underdogs, if not slight favorites. They just swept the Tigers, who are 4 games under 500 right now. And we were getting them at like minus 109, minus 105. So I wanted to just give a quick dap to the Royals. And if you're looking for a good team to bet on, think about Kansas City. They're not playing today, though. But I had to bring up with you, Dusty, the Blue Jays come back from that miserable game where they got shut out on Looney Dog night by the Chicago White Sox. They had not had a home run from the cleanup spot all season long. Last night, they bring back the home run jacket. Bo hits a homer out of the home run spot. And the jacket is back. And for one night, the bats were back. Could we possibly, as ridiculous as this sounds, I still believe that this team is too good to be playing as bad as they have been. Might we be talking about the magic jacket, bringing the Jays back to respectability? And what do you think about the Jays tonight? Gosman on the hill against Flaherty in Detroit. Tigers coming off getting waxed and swept by the Royals in their last series. And the Jays winning the series and getting that 9 across the plate last night, and actually getting some good vibes seemingly for the first time in a long time.
Give me the jacket. Give me the Jays at -105 and give that jacket a raise. All right. Whatever needs to happen, it's managed to do what no hitting coach or manager could have done for the last year and a half. So, yes, fully on board. I'll ride with the Jays today at -105.
Yeah, I just put it in as well. You have to believe in the jacket. And listen, when the Jays were, I mean, at least in the regular season winning, because they haven't won at all in the playoffs, but at least when they were the regular season winning, they had that. It was like they had so much fun, like, okay, to take the next step, we have to be all business. And then they just, I don't know, they got away from being who they were.
They did. You're right.
And, like, I don't know, I think there's still a long ways to go. But Schneider cracked me up. He's like, I don't care if it's a jacket, if it's a special bathing suit, whatever. If it's helping us move forward and bring us together, great. And I got to tell you, I might even be thinking about some Bo props and some Vladdy props in the next week or so, which I've been not really too keen on getting on for obvious reasons because they've been horrible for the most part so far this year, though Vladdy's coming around. But yes, Jays tonight, -105. And if you really want to bet the jacket, -125 on over 3.5 for the Blue Jays to actually play a few runs tonight against Flaherty. Flaherty actually is kind of a hard luck record. I think he's got like his ERA for the year. He is 3.79, not too bad. 1-3 so far. But Gosman has had a rough start. It's getting warmer. I think we get a good performance from him. Love the Jays. Love the jacket. And that's going on the card tonight.
What's coming up on Winnipeg Sports Talk, Huss?
Well, we'll wind up Kenny Weeb and let him roll today with us on a number of Jets and offseason hockey topics. We're actually going to be talking with none other than EST's Matthew Iwanek.
What?
As well.
Are you talking soccer?
Yes. Well, I am going to talk a little soccer with him. Because I want to, we want to talk a little bit about this Oilers Stars series. We'll get Maddie to set it up from an Edmonton's perspective. And then, yes, I want to find out about this new coach for Canada that we have. And, a little bit of looking ahead to next month with the Copa that's going to be happening that he's going, right?
Yeah, he is. He's going down. He's going down to Atlanta.
For the Messi game. That's going to be... That's going to be excellent. So, yeah, Iwanek's going to jump on. And, unfortunately, Seabears took an L last night. Didn't get the rust out.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy.
Lost in Saskatoon. Was not part of the plan. But they got the bricks out in Sask before coming back for the home opener. So, Coach Taylor's going to jump on with us, talk about the opening game of the season, and look forward to the home opener tomorrow. So yeah, we're obviously going to hit quite a bit of hockey. But we'll be talking about... and we're also going to go through the Scotty Scheffler police video that has been released. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen this yet.
Dude, this is not a good look for Officer Gillis.
Oh, really?
Or Detective Gillis.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's like he just ran up. Scotty's like going at like 5 kilometers an hour. The guy jumps up, smacks his windshield, gets him out and handcuffs him. I do not know where the $80 pants were ruined based on the video, and it's not much of one either. And coincidentally, no body cam footage or anything like that. So I think these charges are going to be dropped. If you've been on the free Scotty train, I think that's coming. But anyways, we're going to get to that in a little bit more, and then I'll also be following the Charles Schwab Challenge, and my guy, Brian, 33-1 Harmon, tied for the lead at 4. And I guess we're going to have to be following these. Who are we cheering for again? Hubbard,
Spieth, and we already got one in the bag.
Hubbard and Spieth. Okay, yeah. Detry's in. Hubbard and Spieth. Where's Hubbard right now? Who's Hubbard going against? Ooh, Hubbard's +1.
Oh, he's going against the Gim Reaper.
Yes, the Gim Reaper. Where's Doug Gim? Hopefully the Gim Reaper's not popped a birdie. And he has. Uh-oh.
Long way to go.
Okay.
Long way to go. Let's not panic.
Yeah.
Long way to go.
They're only on 5. They're only on 5. That can change very quickly.
All right, man. You have a good show.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy the game tonight, everybody.
Yeah, we definitely will. There you go. That is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. I'm just watching that Scheffler video. It looks like a whole bunch of nothing. My goodness. Unless there's something we can't see on the other side of those buses. Anyway, let's do this. Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, as we mentioned. I was taking a peek at it. You can go to greatoutdoorscomedyfestival.com to get your tickets. This show right now that we are giving away the VIP table for is completely sold out. Individual tickets are sold out. Early bird tickets are sold out. VIP tables are sold out. So if you want to get in on this, here's your chance. Schultz and Gillis, Friday night, July 12th, Kinsman Park, Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. Just text in festival right now to 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. And one of you, probably Zacticum, will reach out to you. And you will go into the draw for this VIP table to the sold out July 12th show. Friday night, July. Beautiful. The laughs. You're really going to enjoy it. Sounds like an EST golf classic, if you know what I mean. So that should be a lot of fun. Text festival right now to 780-218-9999. Enjoy the game. We're going to continue to set up the game. What am I saying? I'm not going anywhere. 2 guys and a goalie coming up. We'll give you what Cass and Gager think about game 1 of this series. We'll get to your bigger and hotter headlines. And we will get into hire it or fire it for GS Construction, the presenting sponsor of 2 guys and a goalie. That is going to do it for the Luck Shop today. Best of luck tonight on all of your bets, and we will talk to you tomorrow.